Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back to my video. I'm Mutia Rahmawati, and in this video, I will tell a novel entitled Prince Lestat and the Realms of Atlantis. In the story, 12,000 years ago, there were these alien humanoid birds from the planet or asteroid Brevena down to Earth. They are tall, with large black eyes, small beaks, tiny feathers all over their bodies, large hands, and have wings on their backs like angels. So they created these four replomoids. The replomoids may or may not be modified by humans. In any event, the replomoids' first memories are waking up in pods surrounded by their birth parents. They have been endowed with human emotion, but it so they can blend more easily. The parents told them that they had seen another replomoid down to Earth to fix their monitoring equipment scattered all over the planet, but this replomoid named Amel decided to build Atlantis instead. Now the birds are pissed. They met Amel, the rule. Uh, Amel tells them that he is not a replomoid and that parents lied to them. He was born human and modified to become immortal based on the whims of the parents. But at that moment, Brevena exploded. Amel died, body destroyed, it the blessed and become the spirit that entered Akasa, turning her into the first vampire. One day, an evil vampire named Roland has found Derek. Discovering he's immortal and holds him prisoner, torturing him and keeping him captive for many years. Bruce, a vampire introduced in the previous novel, who turns Lestat is given refuge by Roland. The female of the four diplomates was actually working in the laboratory of Lestat two scientist vampire friends who are accountable for the creation of Victor, Lestat biological son, now turned vampire, and other vampire scientific discoveries such as giving the lamb vampire. Derek gets tortured uh, by an impatient Rose who cut off one of Derek's arm and throws it into a fire. Once alone, Derek retrieves his severed arm for the fire to find it has a face on its palm. The hand moves as if on its own accord and suckles Derek's teeth. Derek faints and wakes up to find he has a clone. The severed arm has regenerated on his body, and the burned severed arm is now a nearly exact clone of himself, except for more like streak in his hair. And Derek helps his father escape from the evil vampires. They reach out to Lestat, uh, the current leader of the vampires, and he's caught by calling into Benji's radio station. Benji is a vampire Marius made for Armand Beck in the Vampire Armand novel. And after Derek calls them, frantically tells them that another vampire has done to him and that he wants to meet them. Another call to the studio is made, this one by the female of the four Replomoids. Lestat and his group have a meeting where Arman suggests capturing the new immortals and using them as cattle to harvest an endless supply of blood. But Lestat does not go for this plan. The spirit Amel is now connected to Lestat, and if Lestat should die, so will all the vampires die. Lestat is now prince, and Marius is the prime minister doing most of the work. Eventually, they agree to meet with the Replomoids. The four Replomoids are united for the first time in nearly 12,000 years. They had drifted apart after the fall of Atlantis, and some had even slept under ice. The Replomoids tell their story to the vampires and discusses Amel to abruptly remember who and what he truly is. Amel knows that Capetria, the female diplomat, has become scientist and wants to give him a physical body, but he tells her not to do if it hurts the vampires. He loves them, Lestat in particular. After the diplomats leave, there is still mistrust from many of the vampires. Armand still think they should be taken prisoners and that they are enemies, and other vampires have similar feelings for no real reason other than they are different. Eventually, Lois comes forward to reveal his not really not really attack to Amel the way other vampires are. Abruptly, it is revealed that if a vampire's heart stops beating temporarily, it will sever his ties to Amel and he can remain a vampire without being attached to the spirit that created him. It is also revealed that vampire flesh is very similar to Luracastria, the material almost everything is made of in Atlantis. Apparently, way back when Akasa was killed and all the vampires were dying, so long as she was not roasted while still alive, their hearts would have temporarily stopped, but they would have all survived separating from Akasa. They would not have all died with her after all. So, the two science vampires briefly stop Lestat heart, during which time Amel gives him vision of Atlantis. When Lestat wakes up, the vampires are now separated from Amel. Well, but Lestat who is still attracted to him. Roland is born to death for the years of torture and captivity he subjected. Derek to Rose is confronted for his crimes, and his lover Benedict comes to his rescue and plans for him. He tells Ross to say he's sorry. He tells Ross to say he's sorry, or he'll cling uh, to him and burn up with him when the other vampires condemn him. Ross apologizes for the sake of Benedict. Lestat tells the other vampires of Amel's good fortune and though they cheer, he believes they never truly love Amel and will eventually fear him and other diplomats again. And then he thinks about love, thoughts about how there is goodness in this world and it all comes from love. The ending is actually kind of sweet, and perhaps they do love Amel after all in their own way. Marius is now leading the vampires completely now and writing up laws for them, and it's hinted at that it was police for Lestat to repeatedly let Rose live, but Lestat don't care. Okay, maybe that's enough for me. Thank you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And see you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.